Tonight, we celebrate another fabulous year on the LPGA Tour here in the Tiburon Ballroom at the Ritz Carlton Golf Resort in Naples. Gathering together the golf community at the CME Group Tour Championship, there will probably be tears tonight. There will be laughter, and there will be a lot of appreciation. It's time to get the Rolex LPGA Awards underway.
Is over. This a win for Stacy and a win for Houston.
One of the best things I've seen in a long time.
IK Kim has won the Rico Women's British Open. That is her third win of the year.
Is a major champ once again, the winner of this Evian Championship.
And Solheim Cup wins the ANA Inspiration.
Checkered flag at the Brickyard. It's the second win of the year. Welcome to the Solheim Cup. Finishing off a sweep of the four balls for the U.S. The Solheim Cup will stay in the hands of the U.S.
That is some kind of special. Solheim Park has won the U.S. Women's Open.
So many clutch putts on the back nine for Danielle King. Danielle King wins the KPMG Women's PGA Championship.
Well, good evening. Good evening to those of you here in Naples and to those of you joining us around the world on Facebook. And welcome to one of the most special nights of the year in golf. We have so much to celebrate from 2017 on the LPGA Tour, and I feel so privileged to have enjoyed a front row seat watching the drama unfold as we saw. And 2017 began in dramatic circumstances in the Bahamas with Brittany Lincecum winning in a playoff over Lexi Thompson. Solheim Cup would triumph at the year's first major as record numbers sat on the edge of their seats watching. Lexi Thompson would bounce back and win at Kingsmill after bouncing into the event, if you remember, via a skydive for her Pro-Am tee time. We had four new world number ones: Aria, So-Yeon, Sung-Hyun, and most recently, Shen. Danielle Kang broke through in a fabulous week of golf outside of Chicago. Sun-Hyun Park began to really make a name for herself on the LPGA Tour with a win in front of the President of the United States at the U.S. Women's Open. IK Kim won a major championship. She won a major championship at Kings Barnes, her third of 3 wins this year. The Solheim Cup, what a week, and a victorious one again for for Team USA and Captain Inkster. Then there was Stacy Lewis, as we saw, winning for Houston in Portland. Anna Nordquist winning in testing conditions in Evian, as Brittany Altomare began to show some promise. Shen Fang says she is a slow starter, but she gets better and better as the season progresses. Well, back-to-back wins and the top spot in the Rolex rankings certainly show that. And finally, to the season-ending awards, which are still so close and exciting this week here in Naples. With us this evening, we have the LPGA Commissioner, Mike Wan. I would also like to extend a big thank you to the team at Rolex who are here this evening from New York and Geneva. Congratulations to you all on 50 years in golf. Rolex and golf has certainly enjoyed a great relationship. And this room is filled with greatness tonight. We have members of the LPGA and World Golf Halls of Fame here tonight, and I'd like to recognize you all. If you would please stand if you're a member of the LPGA or World Golf Halls of Fame. Please stand if you're here with us tonight. Keep that applause going. Keep that applause going. I'd also like to salute the important people who make our tournament schedule what it is. Here tonight are many of the LPGA's tournament owners and representatives. Would you please stand if you're part of the TOA? If you're a tournament owner or representative, please stand. We'd like to recognize you. I was with some of the tournament owners last night for their awards dinner, and during that dinner we read out some messages from the volunteers who are so important for the LPGA and everything that we do on this tour and Golf Channel as well. So I'd like to recognize the volunteers, many of whom will be watching at home on Facebook. So please give them a big hand for everything that they do. Let's not forget why we are here in Naples this week. Two big prizes will be handed out this weekend to conclude the LPGA Tour season. A check for $500,000 to the winner of the CME Group Tour Championship, and then the biggest prize in women's golf, a cool $1 million to the winner of the year-long race to the CME Globe. And we thank everybody at CME, so give them a big hand. As is tradition here at the Rolex Awards, the program will be split into two halves, separated by dinner. Now, for those of you watching at home on Facebook, we will hear from some of the key figures on the LPGA Tour during that dinner break. Let's begin tonight with the William and Mousie Powell Award. To explain the significance of this award and to introduce the winner for 2017, here via video is LPGA player Amy Olson.
The William and Mousie Powell Award is an incredible honor given to a player who lives up the values and ideals of the LPGA. Things like sportsmanship and service are integral to what the LPGA stands for. This award is significant because it's not just about skill, it's about spirit. More importantly, it's voted on by us as players who see each other at our best and our worst moments. We can fool our fans, not so easy to fool each other. I'm honored to be able to introduce one of my mentors and best friends. No matter what's going on in her life, she can always be counted on to set aside her own concerns and help someone else. Countless times, I've seen her abandon her own practice session to help a struggling competitor, remember the name of a Pro-Am partner she hasn't seen in years, or make time to mentor a rookie, whether or not they're in the same pod. To her competitors, she's a loyal friend. To her fans, she's an inspiration. And to every single one of us, she's a role model. Please join me in helping congratulate your 2017 William and Mousie Powell Award winner, Catherine Kirk.
And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the 2017 William and Mousie Powell Award recipient, Catherine Kirk, and to present her with the award, the LPGA's player president, Vicky Gatz-Ackerman. Welcome to the stage.
This award is a huge honour for me, and I feel really blessed to be up here tonight. William and Mousy Powell did so much for the LPGA Tour, and to be able to join the list of recipients is something I'll be very proud of, because they're all great ambassadors for the game, and I have a lot of respect for all of them. When I look at the list, I realise how different we all are, but at the same time I also realise that we share a deep passion for the game of golf, and we love sharing that passion with others. Betsy King, Meg Mallon, Amy Azado, Lorena Ochoa, Kari Webb and Julie Inkster, to name a few, are all players that I've looked up to since my rookie year in 2004, and players that I've learned a lot from and I've wanted to emulate. I know these past recipients feel honoured to have played on the LPGA Tour, and at this time I want to acknowledge Marilyn Smith, one of our LPGA founders, for all that you did for the tour. And for helping pave the way for young women to play professional golf. Thank you. If it weren't for Marilyn, all of us wouldn't be here tonight, so if you see her, give her a big thanks later. It would also be remiss of me to not thank Mike One and the amazing LPGA staff that we have. You all work so hard, and you truly embrace the motto, act like a founder, and you've all inspired me to be better, so thank you. I want to thank our board of directors, there's a few here in the room tonight, for all your time and service and dedication to our tour. You've certainly made it better, so we appreciate it. To our player president, Vicky Gax-Ackerman, a former winner of this award. To our TNCP president, Deb Bangelo, I don't know where she is tonight, but thank you. And to our foundation president, Nancy Henderson. All of you have done an amazing job at making the tour a better place, and I know the players really appreciate what you've done. I know you believe in growing the game and inspiring the next generation of LPGA golfers, but more importantly, you encourage girls and women of all ages around the world to chase their dreams. It's been a great year, and I feel very fortunate to have won the Thornberry Creek tournament, and feel very blessed to have amazing sponsors in Titleist and Pure Silk. And some people have asked me, do I feel an obligation to give back to the game? And I rather think of it as a privilege, and it's been a privilege to be up here tonight, and I hope everyone enjoys the evening. Thank you to Rolex for a fabulous night, and final thanks to CME Group and all our amazing LPGA partners and corporate sponsors for your continued support of the LPGA. God bless.
Catherine Kirk, well done. Our next award is about hard work, determination, dedication, and most importantly, perseverance. This year's award winner embodies every one of those traits. To introduce this year's winner of the Heather Farr Perseverance Award, let's listen to LPGA player Jane Park.
So my friend Tiffany Jo, she is really one of a kind, and I've known her for about 15 years, and of all those years that I've known her, she has always had a knack to make anyone smile, whether it's her friends or her strangers, or complete strangers. And you know, when she had the cancer scare earlier this year, it was no different. She always diffused the situation with humor, and she was first to comfort me and her friends, even though her situation was so harrowing with the diagnosis of cancer. And I just remember hearing over the phone that when she was telling me she couldn't play the first tournament in Australia, and my heart dropped. But here we are, you know, 9 or so months later, and she's cancer-free, and she epitomizes the Perseverance Award for Heather Farr. And I'm extremely proud of her, and I'm honored to call her my friend. And I think all of our peers would agree that there is no one more deserving of this award than our friend, our beloved Tiffany Joe. Congratulations, and many more happy years to come on the LPGA and with your friends, and cancer-free. We love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the 2017 Heather Farr Perseverance Award recipient Tiffany Joe and Jane Park to present her with the award.
Mike, it's weird. Your face is happy, but your body language is like, oh my gosh, we just gave Tiff Joe a microphone. So, you know, I never had the pleasure of meeting Heather, but I have gotten to know her sister, Coach Missy Farr, pretty well through playing college golf. And I've also gotten to know a few of her close friends. And if these individuals are any indication, I can say that at the very least, Heather and I shared one thing in common, and it's that we were both blessed with incredible support systems. Now, I'm sure a few of you guys can kind of confirm this, that despite my affinity for warm and fuzzy animal costumes, I'm not exactly the most warm and fuzzy person sometimes. I come across as pretty sarcastic, and in the past, I'd always prioritize personal space over personal relationships, which is why it is super ironic that it was one of my friendships that ultimately saved my life. I'd had this irritation on my scalp for the better part of a year, and I'd actually gotten into this habit of touching it whenever I was anxious or having a really difficult conversation, kind of like right now. And I ran into a friend of mine at a local surf break, and as she caught me up on her recent melanoma scare, I started stressing out for her and touching that spot on my scalp. And all of a sudden it hit me. This has been here for a really long time. I should probably get it checked out. So I did, and sure enough, it came back as positive for malignant melanoma. And the next month was filled with a lot of tests and waiting, and probably one of the scariest surgeries I've ever experienced. But during the most nerve-wracking moments when I was waiting for a call from the doctor and simultaneously falling down the deep, dark hole that is WebMD, it was really my friends and the people this tour that came through and offered me their support and encouragement and more Skittles care packages than I really needed to be consuming. When I was supposed to be writing a speech, I was going through Instagram, and I found this great quote by Ram Dass, and he says, "We're all just walking each other home." And my interpretation is that each of us is this compilation of little moments we share with each other, that every person we interact with has this indelible impact on not only who we are, but how we're equipped to respond to difficult circumstances. And it really resonated with me because this past year, I've really started to understand the value of all my relationships, no matter how fleeting or profound they seem. So whether you're someone that I've known for the majority of my life or someone that I just occasionally cross paths with in the clubhouse, I really wanted to use this moment to thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of this amazing tour family. I honestly can't think of a better group of people to be sharing my walk home with. So thank you guys.
Now let's hear from the LPGA Commissioner, Mike Wan, who will present the coveted Commissioner's Award for this year. Mike, head on up.
As you know, Tiff, the players get more concerned when I get a microphone in my face. So I didn't have the honor of knowing Heather Farr, but when you talk to players who did, when they tell you her story, they always tell you while they're smiling. And so it really makes sense that Tiffany Joe is the winner because you can't talk about Tiffany Joe without smiling. We were in Hainan Island, China, 130-mile-an-hour windstorm, called a typhoon. And 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we get a knock on the door. And my wife says, "Who is out in a typhoon?" I open the door, it's Tiff Joe in a Tyrannosaurus Rex onesie. Not why Tom invited me up. I'm here to talk to you tonight about the Commissioner's Award. This was established in 1991 by my friend and really lifelong mentor, Charlie Meacham. And it's the third award there from your left. And we redesigned it in 2010 when I joined to actually look like a hug because I believe at the LPGA we believe in hugs versus handshakes, and this award is to really give somebody, person, organization, an LPGA group hug and say thank you for lifting us up to higher levels, for believing in our mission, for helping women's golf achieve new heights, and who has the kind of character and standards you want to be connected with. In my 8 years, I've had the honor of giving this award to some pretty incredible people. Rolex, Golf Channel, Smuckers, Wegmans, ShopRite recently, and they're all incredible Commissioner Award winners. But this year, 2007, it's a little bit more personal for me. It's a little bit closer to the heart. And this year, the winner of the award probably has no idea they're about to receive it. I love that part. This year, we're going to give this to a person who's been with us for 6 years. Never got paid, never got mentioned. Most of you in the room may not even know who she is, but you're about to, and your Facebook Live people are about to hear a little bit more about her. Because she's been around at the LPGA pretty much as long as I have, and she has led us through 2 tours, LPGA and Symetra Tour, that are both up over 50% in events and 70% in purses. She's watched a teaching club professional division grow by over 50% more members in a short period of time. And she's watched our girls golf program go from getting 5,000 girls a year in this game to 72,000 girls a year in this game. What you may not know, and some of our LPGA folks in the room may not know, is some of the other things she's done as well. She was a former U.S. Women's Open chair. She's been on the advisory and steering committee of the KPMG Women's PGA, 6-year board member and currently board chair. She's been with the LPGA Board Foundation on events. She's been on the Teaching and Club Professional Leadership Committee, and she's even helped young athletes, really young athletes, guide their way through the drive, chip, and putt competition. I'm not going to cry, but what I'm going to tell you is she's taught me, she's led me, she's applauded me, and God knows she's pushed me. But most importantly, she's our 2017 Commissioner's Award winner. She's my friend, she's my boss, and she's my hero, Roberta Bowman.
Tom had asked about tears earlier, and that's really not my style, but Mike, you got me there. So I love that trophy, and let me just give you all a big group hug if I could. The ingredients for the success of the LPGA is really represented by all of you who are here this evening. And I have to start with Mike and the work that he's done. I have had a window into the transformation of the LPGA that I just feel so privileged to have had. To take a tour that was very much challenged and transform it into the vibrant, exciting, strong organization that it is today is both a remarkable example of leadership and vision and courage and passion. But it goes deeper than that, because the best thing about a terrific leader is that he or she inspires that in others. So to the staff of the LPGA, I know you wake up every morning saying, how can I make the tour? How can I make the teaching and club professionals division? How can I make the foundation even better today than it was yesterday? And you're the folks that shine the light on our players and our teachers and our girls, and you deflect it from yourselves. So I want to say thank you to you as well. The other ingredient, there are many, but obviously our tour professionals. You should know I came here as a fan, and I leave here absolutely inspired by the quality of these young women, not just on the course, but off the course as well. The world needs more role models for little girls, and they don't need to look much further than the LPGA. To our teaching and club professionals who spend their lives inspiring others to have enthusiasm and gift and joy in the game of golf. They're building the game, growing the game around the world and around the corner. 3 other ingredients, of course, are our amazing sponsors. It takes an act of vision and leadership to sponsor the LPGA. And we've had terrific partners like Rolex and many others that are in the room this evening as well. I call them partners, and I mean it, because we are all in it together. And the opportunities to create a sense of empowerment for women and girls is really probably the greatest legacy that we can have. 2 last ingredients are fans. They come out, they cheer, they're inspired, they share their love of the LPGA with others, and they make us all better. And then lastly, our partners in the news media, many of whom are here today, and they're the ones that tell the stories of the LPGA and make us approachable, relatable, interesting, and fun. So thanks to all of you. It's been an incredible opportunity to serve on the LPGA board and to see it from the inside out. And I have to tell you, while I leave the board, I remain both an advocate and a fan. And I have to say, I think the best days for the LPGA are just ahead. Thank you so much.
Mike and I were the only people, I think, in the room who saw Roberta's reaction when she realized it was her. It was absolutely priceless, so well done. Our next award salutes the LPGA's teaching and club professionals. To present this year's Ellen Griffin Rolex Award, we have the privilege of hearing from Deb Vangelo, National President of the LPGA Teaching and Club Professionals.
The Ellen Griffin Rolex Award was instituted by the LPGA TNCP membership in 1989 to honor the late teaching professional Ellen Griffin. This award recognizes an individual, male or female, who made a major contribution to the teaching of golf and who emulates Ellen's spirit, love, and dedication to students, teachers, teaching skills, and the game of golf. This year's LPGA Ellen Griffin Rolex Award goes to LPGA USGA Girls Golf founder Sandy LeBeau. Sandy is a passionate LPGA teaching professional and a mother to 2 daughters. Sandy was first introduced to the game of golf by her parents, Jack and Sherry Lumpkin, who taught Sandy the game by infusing fun drills and games into her golf lessons as a child. She used these childhood experiences to create the LPGA USGA Girls Golf program. Beginning with just 10 programs in 1989, girls golf is now in more than 400 communities in the United States and is expanding every day. Thanks to Sandy's vision, more than 500,000 girls have been introduced to the game of golf since the program's inception. Sandy was inducted into the Arizona Golf Hall of Fame in 2010, and earlier this year was named the 2017 Nancy Lopez Golf Achievement Award winner and the 2017 Western Section Teacher of the Year. Please join me in recognizing Sandy LeBeau.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the 2017 Ellen Griffin Rolex Award recipient Sandy LeBeau, and I would also like to welcome to the stage Munia Meshbal, Vice President of Communications at Rolex Watch USA, who will present a Rolex timepiece to Sandy as well.
Well, that's a big wow for me. I'd like to thank the LPGA Deciding Committee and Rolex for this wonderful award and for this evening. It is an honor to be connected with Ellen Griffin. She did so much for so many until the day she passed. She accomplished great things in an era without high-tech devices or social media to promote her endeavors. I'm grateful for the path that she paved for the teachers and the coaches out there today. I learned to play golf in 1974 by practicing on the range to creative targets and by playing really fun games on the course. We played 9 holes with 3 clubs. We played our worst ball. We played our best ball. We played note in the hole tournaments. I think my favorite tournament was play 5 and fish. We played 5 holes and we stopped in the pond and we fished. My mom, Sherry Lumpkin, actually designed that program, and I'm greatly indebted to her. She has passed on now. But I know and I realize that once I started learning to play golf that way, that someday I would be able to help other girls learn to play golf the same way I did. A great instructor, Carrie Graham, and a wonderful USGA leader, Judy Bell, came into my life early on as a teacher. They were concerned about the decline in girls golf back in the 80s. They encouraged me to design a program and connected me with people and organizations that could help it grow. The first junior girls golf club was started in 1989. Without Carrie and Judy, there would be no program, so I thank them first. I think it's successful for 4 reasons, and a lot of people ask me, why do I think it's grown so much? I would say, first of all, the focus is on fun, building friendships, and teaching life skills through the game of golf. We teach girls to play the game on the course. And I think that's so important because clinics are just an exposure, and until they get out and they play to learn, they won't really fall in love with the game. The program has a progressive system, so it has ways for girls to work their way up the ladder as soon as they improve. This teaches these girls how to compete, which is such a valuable skill for us women as we are growing through businesses or playing this game. Finally, the biggest reason of growth, I think, is you. Mike Wan, you're right. I saw you earlier this evening. There he is. And, you know, as the commissioner, you are such a dynamic leader, and you charge us up every day. So we thank you for that. The LPGA Foundation, you've changed the name to LPGA USGA Girls Golf. You introduced the 5 E's. You've created worldwide expansion and awareness. Nancy Henderson, I thank you and your team. The USGA and the PGA, you've provided help and have connected us with industry leaders to help us grow. Our LPGA members from the teaching division, so many have just stepped up to the plate to create local programs, and they have touched the lives of so many girls out there. The LPGA Tour, you as players, you have politically and financially supported the program through events like the Founders Cup, and we so appreciate everything you do. Personally, I thank you for growing the vision. This program doesn't belong to me. I merely planted a seed in 1989. The fruit belongs to all of us. I would also like to thank my parents, Jack and Sherry, for bringing me into the golf in such a creative way. Most of you know my wonderful dad, and again, my mom was my inspiration in starting the program. Most importantly, I'd like to thank my husband, Mike, my partner, for 36 years of marriage, and I'm looking forward to playing the back 9 with you. You do inspire me every day. Lastly, I'd like to thank our 2 daughters, Lindy and Christy, for their love and laughter. I have learned so much in parenting. Lindy's now a teaching professional in Sea Island, Georgia, and Christy is an event meeting specialist at the Westin Hotel in Scottsdale. They're both employed. That's very big. But I look at how full circle this has been and how much girls golf has inspired them to become what they are today. One of my fond memories of Lindy was taking her to the Itty Bitty Open when she was 5 years old. She showed up, and there were about 400 kids there, most of which were boys. And the first thing she said was, "What are all these boys doing here? I thought this was a girls' game." And I thought to myself how much she was brainwashed by us. My next step, because there's always a next step, is to create women's golf expos around the world, showcasing LPGA members and what's new in women's golf. The proceeds all benefit girls golf. Tina Toombs and Corey Matheson and I are working very hard to develop this model. We offer clinics, we have a marketplace that's there, we have ball fitting, we have club demos, we have fashion shows, we talk about hair and makeup for sports. It's just a big party for women's golf that day. We raised over $10,000 for girls golf, and the girls are there actually welcoming the ladies when they come. We conducted our first one last year. Our next one is slated for February 11th, 2018. We just feel it's another way that we can connect the LPGA with women and girls. I would love to see an expo take place in every city a month before a tour event, in which case we can introduce these women to golf and then have ambassadors at the tournament that would take these women around so they could see how the game is really played by you all. The possibilities, I think, are endless. A few weeks back, Commissioner Mike Wan delivered a speech to the LPGA Teaching and Club Professional Division. His message was clear. Together we are the women of the game. We must be the voice and the vision. As a team, we must press on to make this game better for our daughters than it was for us. I celebrate your vision. Life is not just about our successes. It is really about helping others to succeed. And in doing so, our life is deeply enriched. I love being part of a team to grow golf through women and girls. So I will keep blazing the trails like Ellen did years ago for years to come. Thank you for this award.
We hear the phrase grow the game. Well, Sandy has grown the game by introducing thousands, probably tens of thousands of young ladies. So I think that deserves a really big round of applause. Well, coming up in the second half of the Rolex LPGA Awards, we'll review some of the tour's season-long races. For those lucky enough to be here inside the ballroom at the Ritz Carlton Golf Resort, it's time for dinner. Now, for those of you on Facebook, it may not be dinner time where you are around the world, so we're going to head back outside and join Lisa Cornwell.
Tom, thank you very much. What an awesome start to this Rolex Awards celebration, one that we get to witness every single year, and every single year it gets better and better. And I think the woman sitting next to me would agree. Catherine Kirk, winner of the William and Mousy Powell Award. Congratulations. Your speech was fantastic, and if there's one word to sum it up, it was very thoughtful. When you found out that you won that award, what was that like?
I was quite shocked, actually, because I really think that so many girls are deserving of that award out here, and a lot of them obviously have inspired me to be better on and off the golf course. And I feel really blessed to be part of the LPGA right now. It's an amazing tour, and yeah, I just think we have wonderful players and obviously wonderful staff to work with.
You have a lot of younger players, I know, from talking to them. When you won this year, it was an inspiration to them because you won in your younger years. I can't say you had a drought, but there was some time between that win that happened this season. Were you expecting that? Was that something that you were focused on, getting that victory this year?
I was focused on getting it, but I didn't know it was going to happen. There were a couple of years of drought, definitely, and I started questioning myself whether I could do it again, and there are a lot of doubts that crept in, but I think obviously having a good team around me and being able to draw from experience of all those years, because I'm a veteran out here, that helped me, and under pressure I was able to pull it off. So just very grateful to still be doing it at 35.
Still a young 35, though, I will say that. So when you're out there and you get that victory, I know that you hear from a lot of your peers, and I think that everybody who's won this award will say the best part of this award is that it's voted on by your peers. What was the reaction that you got after that win earlier in the summer?
Well, it was a bit of a whirlwind, actually, because I wasn't in the US Open, so a lot of players had already left the tournament to head to New Jersey, and I had to kind of book it to Chicago to get on a flight myself. So the congratulations came through more so at the US Open, and I certainly got to celebrate a little bit when I got home. But, I mean, the players out here are wonderful, and just, blessed to be out here and still competing.
You talked in your speech about players who've inspired you as a young player, as a young professional, and then you said that it's also a privilege to help grow the game. What did you mean?
Well, I was fortunate. My rookie year, I was in a Bible study group with Betsy King, Lorena Ochoa, Catherine Cartwright, and Suzanne Strudwick, and they're all now moved on from the tour. But, I mean, those were girls that I really learned a lot from, and Betsy obviously was kind of the more mature one of the group and a Hall of Famer, so we all kind of appreciated her perspective, and I think seeing them give back to the tour and certainly helping me and mentoring me, it makes me want to do the same for other players and certainly encourage other young girls that come out to watch golf tournaments to chase their dreams and to never give up.
I know you take that responsibility seriously when you talk to the younger players. What's your message?
You got to have fun, but at the same time, I mean, it's a job. You got to take it seriously, but stop and smell the roses along the way.
And speaking of fun, how great is this night?
This is amazing. I haven't been in a few years, so it's nice to be back and just enjoy the celebration. And obviously all the award winners are well-deserving.
Well, Catherine Kirk, you're certainly well-deserving. Congratulations on a great year. Best of luck the rest of the week.
Thanks, Lisa.
Have fun. Catherine is certainly one of those players who other players look up to, and they've gotten to know Catherine a little bit more. One player we're going to let you get to know a little bit more. She's had a fantastic season so far. How about So-Yeon Yu?
I was really hoping to get in like a quick 9 or 18 today. I'm so glad you were free to join me. Thanks for coming along.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's not every day I get to, cruise around with a two-time major champion.
Oh, feels great to be someone calling me two-time major champions.
It was just a few months ago. How does it feel to get that second major?
I think I always, wanted to jump at the Puppy's Pond one day. Then, I dream about it, but when these dreams come true, you cannot really feel, is it real? Is it real? And plus, right now I become two-time major champion, so it even feels even awesome. Then, Imbi is one of my best friends. Then she's a Grand Slammer right now. Then when I saw she was become a Grand Slammer, I was like, wow, that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Then I always feel like that one's like so far away. But I think after having my second major victory under my belt, I feel like kind of close to become a Grand Slammer. So I think it's more motivate to me to playing hard and practice hard and enjoy this game. Yeah.
Well, like you said, you and Imbi are really good friends. Does she share any advice with you as someone who is a Grand Slammer now?
Let's say she really appreciates everything. Well, after she won her first US Women's Open, she really struggled her game for a while. So after that, whatever she has, she still really appreciate everything. So I think just her that kind of really positive attitude make her to be really great golfer. So I learned a lot from that.
How did you and Imbi meet? Because you guys have been friends for years, right?
Yeah, actually, when I started playing golf, as junior golfer, Imbi left to Korea. She already moved to US, so we never really had a chance to grow up together. But our agency, same agency, so I always heard about the Imbi, but never really had a chance to hear it. Then also, Imbi and I had the same psychologist, so we also heard each other from all of them. Then once I started to play on the LPGA tour, finally we were able to meet, and when I first time met her, I think she was kind of shy, but her husband he's really great one. He's the one really make everybody feel really comfortable. So I think because of Imbi's husband, we were kind of more started to hang out more often, and then we found out we had a lot of common thing. So I think that's how we got really close. Yeah.
What kind of stuff do you guys do when you're away from the course and go and have fun? What kind of stuff do you guys do?
Well, these days our common interest is in wine. So especially when we don't have a tournament, we often drinking quite a lot of wine, then get drunk. And so also Imbi's sister is wine expert as well. She's junior sommelier right now. Then she's going to study some wine. And,
awesome.
she's gonna go to England for study there as well. So Inbi's sister taught us about the wine quite a lot. So every time when we drink a wine, we really like to discuss about what it tastes like. Then sometimes she just felt like really detailed thing, even I cannot really feel it about, like, Soyeon, this one tastes like peach, or Soyeon, this one is like smell like, you know, cows or something. That ended up found out that vineyard is really close to the farm, or, you know, peach farm is like, wow,
she's good.
I know. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun. Then we're both such a foodie, so we really, you know, like to having really great wine with the food. Then, you know, when wines goes really well with your meal or like cheese, cracker, it's just awesome.
Are you more of a white wine girl or red wine?
We're more red wine girls.
Both red.
Yeah,
okay.
both red. But we always starting with the wine. I mean white wine, and then go red like forever.
Now you just, you know, won an ANA, but it had been a little bit of a drought for you. You hadn't won in a couple years, but you had started working with Cameron McCormick, who also works with Jordan Spieth.
Right, yeah.
So does he share with you like the little secrets and tips, you know, what he does with Jordan?
Everybody's so different, so like whatever he's done to Jordan can work for me and cannot work for me. But I think he has a plenty of experience through Jordan, like, you know, what's the field like to being like top 3 in the world, or what's the field like to being contention at the major. So Cameron always helped me out to make me relax, and he knows what's necessary to practice for prepare a major tournament and just regular tournaments. So I think having an experience with Jordan and Jordan with him was quite a lot of help for me as well.
Have you gotten to meet him at all?
Yeah, I've seen Jordan a few times, maybe like 3 times, 4 times. But he's like super humble. He's a really nice guy. He never really like show us to be, you know, I'm the best one in the world, and, you know, like, you know, hailing for me or something. He's like always really, really nice. Always say hi first, and, you know, when I have a really good tournament, he always congrats to me. So I think it's really great to have him around. Yeah.
Well, we didn't end up getting to play any golf, but we were able to chat.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely.
It was great chatting with you.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Perfect. Cool. Thank you, Amy.
This isn't nearly as cool as kart cruising, or as Tiff Joe just renamed it. What is it?
Kart pool karaoke.
You should charge the LPGA
I
for that.
You're welcome, LPGA.
Right. Send them a bill. Okay, they ended that red or white wine. What's yours?
I mean, if I had, I would prefer a milkshake, but I mean, I also drank like 4 glasses of white wine before I gave my speech, so I'm gonna have to go with white.
Is that why the speech was so good?
Maybe.
Well, first of all, congratulations on winning the Heather Vare Perseverance Award. You definitely deserved it. But I think what I find remarkable is that you're laughing and smiling through it all. It's almost like the humor helps you, or helped you, sort of get through everything that you were going through. Is that correct?
Oh, 100%. It's actually really funny when the doctor first called me telling me that I had melanoma. She kind of said, we might have to shave part of your head for the surgery. And the first thing I said was, man, that looked really great on Rihanna, but I just don't have her bone structure. And she got off the phone thinking like, man, that's the easiest cancer call I've ever given.
And you actually have a spot. And tell the story, because you named it. Of course you did.
I named it Doris. Right. Dory for short. Because this is kind of gross. But when you touch it, it feels kind of like a dolphin. And then I was thinking about Dory the fish, and then that's kind of evolved to Doris.
Right. This is a really good interview. I'm not touching Doris, though. Not at all. For everybody watching, like, people have been through cancer scares like this. I told you a minute ago I had a melanoma scare for the same thing. When you heard the news, what was it like?
I mean, obviously it was really, really scary. And I think it was funny because I had actually just shown up to the golf course, and I was getting ready to practice because our season was a couple weeks away. And I remember just kind of driving around in circles trying to figure out like how I was going to tell my parents, how I was going to tell my friends. And I mean, it was really just shocking.
How did it change you?
I would like to say that it made me have a better attitude on the golf course, but I'm still just as competitive. But I think more than anything, it's given me a healthy dose of perspective. I think you go out there and, you know, you 3-putt the first
2 or 3 holes, and it's not really a big deal because, you know, you're just really lucky to be out there in the first place.
How scary is it, though? I mean, you guys work in the sun every single day.
Yeah.
What do you do now that's different?
Oh, man, I wear pants all the time. I wear UV sleeves, and I put on sunscreen underneath the UV sleeves. I'm reapplying every 3 or 4 holes, and I surf a lot, so I'm constantly wearing a hat. I always wear a full suit. You end up being a little bit borderline paranoid.
Do you shop online? Do you look for the fashionable protectors?
I wouldn't say that fashionable is a word that really describes me ever, so I'm just going for whatever works.
Okay, what about your speech? Because everybody in there loved it. They were laughing. You didn't prepare for it at all, right?
So it was funny. I'm rooming with Marina Alex this week, and I was really nervous about the speech, and she said, "Oh, man, just wing it. You'll be fine. Just drink a couple of glasses of wine." And then my coach was like, "I think you should at least do some bullet points." So I ended up doing a couple mental bullet points of things I wanted to touch on, and I think for the most part, the main thing I wanted to do was just thank everyone for their support, and hopefully I got that point across.
Well, yes, and everybody's also listening to your story. You're helping a lot of people, there's no doubt. So congratulations on that, doing
Thanks.
Good work and being healthy.
Thank you.
And spreading the word.
Thanks.
And winning a great award and giving a great speech. I could just go on, and I'm still not touching Doris, okay, ever. That's not happening. All right, congratulations.
Thanks.
What a great story with Tiff Joe. And how about another great player on the LPGA Tour? You know, she's one of those fan favorites. She's an athlete, and, you know, we got to see her underwater. What a video. You got to see this.
It was pretty interesting, spending 7 hours in a pool. It was pretty intense, that photo shoot. I spent 7 hours in 2 pools. I can't hold my breath. Held it for like 5 to 7 seconds, got a few shots, and then came back up. That was a little different than what I'm used to, that's for sure. Waterproof makeup helped. And then they pinned all my clothes down so they wouldn't rise up once I went in the water. And then my visor was super tight, and my hair was like gelled and everything. Everything was just like strapped down. There was actually people in the pool still. And they were looking at me like I was crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go in just for a swim with my driver. It was a great tribute to Muhammad Ali, just to show how much of a role model he's been to a lot of athletes, me in particular as well. But that's a thing that Red Bull does great with. They're always so different, and with their photo shoots, they like to bring a variety in. And that's what I love about having them as a sponsor.
Look, Lexi Thompson, you're all smiles, but please don't Muhammad Ali jab me right now, because I've seen you in action in the workout room, and I don't want any part of that.
Yeah, I won't be punching you.
Okay, you don't have Doris up there, right?
No,
Okay,
Doris.
thank goodness. What was that day like? Because that had to have taken forever.
Oh, it did. It took all day. 2 pools later. First pool, we ended up doing all the shots, but ended up having too much chlorine, so it was too foggy. So we had to ask the pool next door in Miami if we could use theirs, and it was full of people and everything. So they were looking at me like I was crazy, and I felt a little crazy. But it took all day.
Okay, so you just went through hair and makeup a little bit ago. Compare hair and makeup to something like this to hair and makeup to something like that in the pool.
A little bit different, that's for sure. You know, for that shoot, I had to have all my clothes pinned down to me. Hair was gelled back, and visor was pinned to my head and everything. So yeah, a little bit different than the blow-dried hair and the makeup done on this on this night.
Were you fully aware of everything that was going to take? The time, the effort, the energy. I mean, you have the energy, but...
Not really. I wasn't expecting it to take that long. I think it was supposed to be a little shorter than what it ended up being. But, yeah, the pool wasn't too warm either, so it probably took me about 2 hours to just warm up in the car. And, you know, Miami traffic, so I got to be in the car for about 2 hours going home, and I had it on 90 degrees, just like I had chills.
You're a fitness buff. It's so interesting to me because I started watching golf before you were probably born, and to watch Tiger sort of transform golf and make it more athletic. You were really into fitness. Where did that come from?
I would say it just came from about 5-6 years ago. You know, I realized I wasn't getting through my rounds as easy as I needed to. I was getting tired coming 13, 14 holes in, and I knew I needed to change. So I started working out. I got a trainer. I worked with the Florida Panthers hockey trainer. Worked with him for a few years.
Of course you did.
And it just made a dramatic change. And now I'm working with Colby Tullier at Joey D's Fitness Center, and it's made a huge difference. Just how I feel on the golf course and how I feel off. I've seen changes in my body, and it's something that I'll continue to do.
So you put a lot of focus into fitness, and you saw changes on the golf course. I read in the off season you put a lot of focus on your short game, and you have seen a lot of changes. What do you think the biggest change has been for you with that?
With the short game work? Well, this past off season, I would say, I practiced a lot on my putting and chipping 2-3 hours a day, because I knew that's what held me back last year. I knew I needed to make a lot more putts coming into this year, and it helped me out a lot. And just to see that the hard work paid off, I think that's what all of us athletes want to see. And I'm just going to continue to work harder this off season.
What about from a confidence standpoint? How much, knowing that your short game's better when you're out there, how does that change the other aspects of your game?
It helps dramatically, because you can't go out every day and ball strike it 100%, be on your A game. So you have to be able to depend on your short game, your chipping, your putting, and when you're hitting 15, 16 greens around, you want to be able to drop a few more of those putts when needed.
When I say $1 million, what do you think?
I know, I saw the box these past few days. I'm trying not to think about it, honestly.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I think it's honestly something great that the Tour has done with the races, CME Club. It's kind of like the women's version of the FedEx Cup points. And I think it's great for the fans to just, keep in touch with, like, who's in the race and, like, who's leading it and who has a chance of winning coming up in this week. And I think it's great for the fans and for us to play for something other than the purse. And, I'm trying not to think about it too much. I'm just trying to focus on this week.
Well, this week there is a lot at stake. Player of the Year, the Vare Trophy, the $1 million that we're not mentioning. We talked about it today after golf, but obviously it has to be on your mind. How do you deal with that at night?
Take a sleeping pill. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, it's always going on in our minds, but you just have to realize it's just a game. It's just something that we do. It's not who we are. And if we put that kind of pressure on ourselves, we'll go crazy. So, I knew I put in the practice in my off weeks and my off seasons, so I'm just going out into every week wanting to win, but just trying to do my best, and that's really all I can do.
And we'll end it with this, because this is honestly, to me, the most important thing is as we talk to Tiff and we hear what she's been through with her melanoma scare, and seeing your mom, Judy, today, and all of us hearing the news that she's cancer-free. Look, you've had an up and down year. Obviously, you've won twice, so it's been great. Golf has been fantastic. The ANA thing we're not going to talk about. But when you found out about your mom, because I know how close you guys are, when you got that cancer-free news with your mom, it has to change you. How did it affect you?
It affected me dramatically. When I heard the news that she had that, it was just devastating. I was driving, and I was just like, okay, I don't need to be driving, because it was, I believe, right after Kingsmill, and she was there for me for that week, and I didn't know anything about it. And then, just going through the things that I did this year and then hearing that, it was just like compounding. And it was really hard, because she's my best friend. I love going home and just spending time with her, hanging out, getting our nails done, and just talking to her. And she's so strong. She's been through breast cancer and then doing that. And she's such a strong person. And I just strive to be like half the woman that she is. And to hear that she's cancer-free, it took a lot off my chest, and I'm sure a lot off hers.
And when you talk about her strength, how much do you pull from that? How much do you think that affects you, especially watching her this last year and how positive she's been and been there for you?
Yeah, exactly. Just to see how strong and upbeat she is going through everything that she's been through, it didn't change her attitude at all. And just to see the smile on her face, it makes my day. And just to tell her that I love her every single day, 5-10 times a day. We're constantly always talking, and I don't know, she just has the best attitude about life.
Well, and you've learned a lot from her, because watching your attitude through everything, it's been phenomenal. You've had a great year, but most importantly, watching you and your family. Well done, because people are watching at home, and kids are learning from you on and off the golf course, and you do a great job, Lexi.
Thank you so much.
So you were not a part of the skills challenge, although Lexi Thompson should have been. She could be a part of any skills challenge. But earlier this year at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, some LPGA stars got to participate in it, along with some guy named Phil.
Stacy Lewis. Please welcome Lydia Coe. Please welcome Brooke Henderson. Please welcome Phil Mickelson.
I was nervous because I know how good they are.
Yes!
It was fun because it gave me an opportunity to be around some of the best players in the world, best athletes in the world. This last year's event where Brooke Henderson shot such a low round and went to a playoff with Lydia Ko was one of the most exciting golf events all of last year. And so to bring them back here and be a part of this tournament, it's fun and exciting.
You know, it's really amazing to be out here, to have Phil Mickelson out today on the grounds and competing against him, you know, the four of us. It's a lot of fun, and I think that the women's game is getting extremely strong each and every week, and the players are getting even better and better.
I'm a little bummed I got knocked out so quick, but it was so cool. It was so much fun. Just really cool of Phil to come today and support us and what we're doing. And some of those shots are pretty hard, though. It's a lot harder than it looks, especially with all these people watching you.
Danielle Kang, she was at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, weren't you?
I was.
Rumor has it.
There.
Yeah, how did that go for you?
I got a new baby.
Right.
Yeah, it was really great.
What did you name that baby?
I haven't named it yet. I got a miniature one. It's so cute.
Right. Everybody's wondering. They're like, what are they talking about? Oh, you mean, the trophy. Yes,
yeah.
Major Championship. Rolex.
I got a new kid.
First-time award winner. So when you watch, before we talk about that week, the skills challenge, what would be if we put you in a skills challenge, what would you be, like a flop shot artist, hit it through the glass break? What do you think?
I would take flop shot.
Flop shot? Really?
Yeah, I would take a flop shot, and glass breaking would be fun. I like to break things.
Yeah,
so.
I think David Ledbetter would say glass break.
Yeah, he
if
would
I talked to him.
Of course.
We had a long conversation about you that week, and he felt so good about your game. He said Danielle is going to win this because she's just going to get in this match play mentality, and that's kind of what you did. I have to be honest. Watching you down the stretch, you hadn't won on the LPGA Tour. Mm-hmm. It's a major. You're thinking, you're kind of worried, like, things could go, she could get nervous. No, that didn't happen. How did you avoid that?
I actually, to be honest, I wasn't nervous at all. I was nervous during the first hole, not the tee shot, but during the first hole of the Sunday. And that was it. And the second time I got nervous was waiting for my last putt. Just standing there kind of waiting for it to happen.
Not the shot into the green?
I was
nervous for
with
you.
Adrenaline, and all I wanted to do was crush that 3-wood onto the green, and I did it. So it was pretty awesome. And then I don't know. Some people said, "Oh, were you nervous?" You kind of backed off and I'm like, no, the glove folded. It was uncomfortable, and I thought to myself, right now is not the time to be uncomfortable. Hit a shot, so back off.
Have you ever experienced something like that before?
Oh, being uncomfortable. With
yeah.
Yeah, you just go, oh, whatever, and just hit it. And then you realize, oh, you shouldn't have done that. There's a fly or, a bug's flying. You're watching it. It's just.
You're Miss Well Connected with everybody. I heard that all sorts of people were sending you tweets. What was the coolest, not maybe, of course, probably getting something from a friend or something meant a lot, but when you looked at it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
But, picking out one person would be a little bit different, and all the support calls I got and the messages and, the Instagram social posts, those were all really cool. I loved how much support I got from the tour and the players out here, and it was incredible. I think the commissioner said one of his favorite moments of 2017 this year was Kang's breakthrough. I'm like, what? It's thanks, commish. So things like that people recognize and, support me no matter what, even if I forget that they're there or, forget sometimes You go through moments where you're just kind of being hard on yourself and you're not getting the results you want, but you know that you have the support, and to see everyone come together was just really incredible.
It's funny because I was actually in the car listening to the radio, and I don't know how I got this, but there was something talking. It was your speech afterwards, and they were replaying it. And they were.
Was it okay?
No, it was great actually, because I already knew your story, and for those at home watching this who don't know your story, how close you were with your father, to have your mother there, and you talked openly about how you felt like he was with you during that final round, or maybe the entire week. Tell us about that and the story of your dad.
Honestly, you know, when it's so, you know, when I talk to him every day, I just go, you know, Dad, what are you doing, man? The putt lipped out. You could have just kicked it in or something. Are you busy up there? But actually, a couple weeks before, we went on the 4 or 5 week run of KPMG, because it was like the 5th event. Before that run, I went and visited his gravesite, and I actually said to him, like, you know what, Dad, I got it. Just sit back and watch. I got this. And it's kind of funny when you walk the golf course and you see certain trees in certain areas. I know exactly where he would be standing. So that was kind of cool. Like, I look over, and I've always seen him on the sideline throwing a thumbs up. Or, you know, when you make a 3-putt, I look over, and then I see him being like, it's okay, and then walking away. You know, my 3-putt on 10, that's how I felt, actually. You know, it's not really great to fall back, especially from the lead on the final day with 9 holes to go, 3-putt from 20 feet. I looked up, I hit it bad, I looked up. I looked over to the right, and there was like a tree, and I'm like, I just imagined him standing there. Then I look over to the left, and my mom's there with her little rainbow umbrella. You know, it just calms you. So the last hole, when I was waiting for the putt, I was really nervous.
Yeah.
But the putt was, you know, what, 2.5 feet? It was still a breaker, and that thing breaks a lot. And I was lining it up, and I remember remotely me betting my dad a TV when I was 17 at the U.S. Amateur, and I just thought of that moment. And I felt him walking by being like, yes, I'll buy you a TV. And then I just felt him there being like, just knock it in, you got this. And then I just felt calm. So
he really was with you.
I just felt it, you know, whether it was just in my own spiritual way or whether he was actually there, but I believe that he was with me, and, like, you know, in my heart, like, I had him with me is what makes sense.
And you've always said that you wouldn't be out here if it weren't for your father. And I know that you talk to him a lot, like you hear messages from him, just like you see him. What did he say to you after your win?
Good job. You know, it's just, he's like, you know, it's hard to, like, translate it. I know the exact words he was going to say. It's more so like, of course you did it, you know, kind of type of deal. And my mom is very similar like that to my dad. And having my mom there was huge. And when I was walking up the 18th hole, I actually looked for her. People asked me, like, did you think you were going to win? I go, I made sure to find my mom before I putt the ball, because she was the first person I wanted to find.
Wow.
To get on the green, or, you know, I wanted her to experience it. She wasn't actually with me during the amateurs, so. And my dad's a part of my mom and my brother, so without their support, I wouldn't be here.
That's amazing, and it's true, and I love listening to the stories. I love listening to how positive you are. You and Tiff, you know, people go through things all the time, and you take that positiveness and you spread it not just on the golf course, but people watch and they hear your stories, and people like me remember. And so congratulations on a great year, and thanks for sharing that with us.
No worries. Thank you.
That is all for us out here. It's time to get back inside to Tom Abbott and give away some more awards.
Well, thank you.
Welcome back to the stage, Tom Abbott.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Lisa. Incredible stories there from your guests, especially Tiffany Joe. And welcome back to the second half of our awards celebration. This year, Rolex celebrates 50 years in golf. The LPGA and Rolex have been official partners since 1980, which was before I was born, believe it or not. And I think there are only about 5 players on the LPGA Tour who were born before 1980. So that gives you an idea of how long this partnership has gone on. The bond remains as strong as ever today. The relationship extends to all 5 of the tour's majors and the Solheim Cup, not to mention numerous testimonies and the Rolex rankings. The ultimate symbol of excellence, of course, is the Rolex rankings. The LPGA is without doubt woven into the rich history of Rolex in golf.
It all started in 1967 on the wrist of Arnold Palmer. From then on, Rolex would become an indelible part of the game, celebrating its greatest players and traditions while discovering rising stars and establishing new traditions along the way. For 50 years, Rolex and golf have been united by a passion for excellence, and Rolex will continue to be a driving force behind the champions.
We continue this evening's festivities with an award given in the shape of a crystal trophy to 16 Americans. You cannot forget the captain and her 3 assistants. I'm talking, of course, about the Solheim Cup. During this season's review, it is only fitting we remember what happened in August in Des Moines, Iowa, where Team USA produced astonishing form to beat Team Europe 16.5, 11.5. Now, we're very fortunate to have with us here tonight 2 players who lit up the last day singles with an electrifying encounter that swung one way and then the other. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Lexi Thompson and Anna Nordquist. We're going to get you a microphone, and Anna. Lexi's going to get one mic there, and Anna the other. Okay. They had them labeled. They needed to make sure they were correct. I've never been the shortest person on the stage. Well, that, no, I kind of like it. Okay, yeah, there you go. I'm not that strong, I might fall over. Okay. Now, am I right in saying that the match that you played in the singles was the only time that you've played together? It's actually probably fitting that I'm in the middle here, by the way, just in case. The only time that you played together all year?
Yeah, that was the first time. Made an interesting one.
It did. It did. Now, you were number 1 for the Europeans in terms of the rankings. You were number 1 for the USA. You had a 5-point lead coming in to Sunday singles. Did you have any inclination that you were going to play Lexi?
Well, I heard she was going to play as number 1, and I didn't know where Annika was going to put me, but I had a feeling she would put me out first. So once I found out it was Lexi, I had a feeling that I was going to play her.
Does that make it more special when you're taking on, in terms of the rankings, the best player on the other team?
Well, I knew that whoever I was up against, I had to play well. And then once I heard it was Anna, I was like, okay, I have to play very well. She's obviously an amazing player, and it was a great match. I'm sure everybody saw it. But yeah, I knew I had to have my A game going into that day.
One of the things you've said about 2017 is that you've been really solid over the putts this year, but that kind of didn't happen on the front 9. And what was going through your head when you were 4 down after 4, thinking, my goodness, this could be not good?
Yeah, it wasn't good. I don't really know what happened. You know, my warm-up went well, and then I got out there, and I'm very happy that it wasn't stroke play, because I would have been like 10 down going into the back 9, because she was shooting 4 under on the front, and then I was like way over. But yeah, I wish I had an excuse for it, but I don't, and then I decided to wake up on the back 9 and fire at some pins.
Wake up, you were 8 under par through 7 holes.
Yeah.
That's waking
I really
up.
woke up.
Yeah.
I had to make up for my front 9.
What were you thinking at that time?
Well, I always felt pretty good being 4 under at the turn, or 4 up at the turn. And she made an amazing birdie on 10, and then I think I hit it to 3 feet on 11, and she ends up making it on top. So
you hold
quite
it for
shocked.
an eagle. Did you have it? No, I was commentating. Obviously, you didn't know that because you were playing, but
No,
I was
I
commentating, and.
No, they actually told me.
Yeah, they told
like,
you what I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't listen to what he says. But no, I had texts from professional golfers, male professional golfers on the European Tour, texting me, watching in the evening, saying, oh my goodness, this is the best golf I think I've ever seen. Did you have a sense of the impact that this match was having on the game of golf, and still does? People still talk about it.
I would say going through the back nine, I was kind of thinking it, but I wasn't worried about what people were saying on TV. But hearing all the comments and everything and getting all the text messages after, I realized how much of an impact it had just on the game of golf and how many people were watching. And I think that's what Solheim Cup is great for. I think it widens our fan base because people love team golf. And, you know, golf is such an individual sport. We don't get the opportunity very often to play as a team, and people love seeing the high fives and hearing the cheers and everything, so it brings us together as a team.
And what do you think the Solheim Cup means for the players that are involved? I mean, it is such a big deal, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I had some struggles this year being sick, and all I could think about is I was going to step on that first tee box in Des Moines, because you put so much effort trying to make that team for 2 years. And I mean, we had Annika Sorenstam as a captain this year, and there was just no way I was going to miss that opportunity to play for her. So it just means a lot, and I see all the European girls, how much we really try to make the team and how much it means to us. And if you look back at your career, the best moments are going to be from the Solheim Cup, and that's where the greatest moments and the best memories from my career is from.
Wonderful. Thank you very much to both of you for coming up. Well done, Team USA, by the way, for winning the Solheim Cup. Hannah Norquist and Lexi Thompson, well done. More mics than we know what to do with here. I'm going to pass them off. There you go. I'll keep this one. Okay. Well, the time has come for us to salute the Rolex first-time winners in 2017. And to officially welcome these players to the LPGA Victors Club, I'd like to welcome back to the stage Munia Meshbal, Vice President of Communications at Rolex Watch USA. And what a thrill it is to be a first-time winner as a member of the LPGA Tour. I don't actually know what that feels like, but I can just imagine what it's like. In 2017, Rolex and the LPGA welcomed 2 new winners, just 2, to this elite club. Each player will receive a Rolex watch to commemorate their first-time win. So let's meet them now. Born in San Francisco and now a resident in Las Vegas, this player finally won her first LPGA Tour title on her 144th career start with a one-stroke victory over Brooke Henderson in the KPMG Women's PGA Championship at Olympia Fields. Clutch putting in the final round helped her shoot a closing 68. Please welcome to the stage Danielle Kang. This player became a Rolex first-time winner with an ice-cool display under intense pressure to clinch the U.S. Women's Open by 2 shots at Trump National in July. She broke a 3-way tie at the top with 2 late birdies, and just 1 month later landed a second LPGA Tour title at the CP Women's Open. Please welcome Sunghyun Park. Ladies, we're going to get some photos of you with Munia and your gifts. And I'd like you to give a big round of applause to our 2 Rolex first-time winners for 2017, Sunghyun Park and Danielle Kang. Well, next I would like to draw your attention to the 4th annual Rolex Arnica Major Award, which was presented following the conclusion of the Evian Championship, the 5th and final major of the year. To introduce the winner of the 2017 Rolex Arnica Major Award, I'd like to welcome to the stage one of the most recognizable names in the world of golf, 10-time major champion Annika Sorenstam. And please also welcome to the stage So-Yeon Yu, the deserving winner of the 2017 Rolex Arnica Major Award.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. So Young, you've had a fabulous season. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You must be very delighted. Highlighted by your second major win, the rise to the top of the Rolex World Ranking. How special was it to win for the first time the Rolex Annika Major Award, considering it was pretty competitive with 5 different major champions?
First of all, I'd like to thank you to Annika Sorenström and Rolex to give me such a special award, and I'm such an honor to have this award, especially named after Annika Sorenström. You are such an inspiration when you're played. Even after you retire, you're still such a big inspiration for us. So it's really, really special award for me. That, as you mentioned about it, I had to compete it with such a amazing players. So I was very overwhelmed to receive this award in Evian.
Let's give a big round of applause for So Young Yu and the Rolex Annika Major Award. Annika knew exactly which award that was. Okay. Well, Annika, stick around on the stage. I think we're going to need you. We're going to need you because our next award honors the best of the year's rookie class. To help introduce this year's winner once again, Annika Sorenström is here. What year did you win it? 1994. You were the Louise Suggs Rolex. It was 1994. The Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year. So, Annika, take it away.
Thank you, Tom. Yes, it was 1994. But it's hard to believe that it's been 23 years ago when a young, aspiring golfer who was born outside the United States was named the LPGA Tour Rookie of the Year. Some would say she was shy. Some would say she was anxious to prove herself, just a little bit competitive, a little bit unsure what was lying ahead. That golfer, of course, was me. So it's really special for me to stand here in front of all you tonight to present this award, this exact same award, to another young aspiring golfer whose story reminds a little bit about me and my own story. And it's just been an incredible season for this young lady. And we have a video here that really showcases this remarkable story, the journey from South Korea, from Sunghyun Park. This is done by Amy Rogers, the managing director from the LPGA.com. Let's take a look.
저의 새로운 모습을 보는 것이 가장 기대가 됩니다. LPGA 루키인 동시에 집에서 멀리 떨어진 타국으로 이사함으로써 제가 어떻게 변할지 그리고 새로운 환경에 어떻게 적응할지 등 이러한 저의 새로운 모습이 기대가 됩니다.
One year after winning 7 times and setting a single season earnings record on the KLPGA Tour, Sunghyun Park came to America.
Solheim Park, my God, what a golf swing.
And made an easy transition to the LPGA Tour.
Very shy, very timid, but she does have a little killer instinct in her.
Winning twice, including the U.S. Women's Open.
That is some kind of special. Brilliant. Sunghyun Park has won the U.S. Women's Open.
67 on the weekend. That's going to get you a few trophies.
The 24-year-old made history earlier this month by becoming the first rookie to reach #1 in the world golf rankings. Park's success has come quickly, but her path to the LPGA Tour began years ago. Park grew up in Seoul, South Korea, where she started playing golf in the 2nd grade. Park climbed through the junior ranks, playing mini tours in Korea before joining the KLPGA in 2014. Her style of play is uniquely her own. With a Ben Hogan-esque swing and a stoic demeanor, it's earned her nicknames like Dat Gong, which translated in English means shut up and attack. But take one quick scroll through her Instagram account, and Park is anything but threatening. She has more than 30,000 followers, and she is crazy about animals. She's often cuddled up with one of her 2 dogs, and she has one at her home in Florida and another in Korea. Park is also quite the foodie. She shares everything from Chicago's deep dish pizza to desserts to McDonald's French fries. Park also has a traveling fan club called Namdala, which means I am different in English. And they were on site for Park's victory at the U.S. Women's Open, which was celebrated back home in Seoul. But she wasn't done. She won again the following month at the Canadian Pacific Women's Open.
The 23-year-old from Seoul, South Korea is going to win her 2nd national championship in her first year on the LPGA.
Park arrives at this week's CME Group Tour Championship with a chance to win Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year honors. Something that hasn't been done since Nancy Lopez pulled it off in 1978. Just 1 year ago, she was an anxious rookie. Today, she has emerged a new version of herself as the record-breaking world #1.
I'd like to welcome Sun-Hyun Park to the stage. Sun-Hyun, come on up. The Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year. I'm going to get you to accept the trophy from Annika. Now, one of Sun-Hyun's goals for this year was to learn English, which she is doing very well. However, as you can imagine, speaking to all of you and the viewers at home in English is incredibly intimidating. So you've recorded a video in Korean, which we're going to watch.
안녕하세요, 박성현입니다. 저는 2014년도에 KLPGA 투어에 입문했습니다. 저의 루키 시즌의 첫 목표는 신인왕이었지만 그의 성적이 좋지 못하여서 저의 꿈을 이루지 못했습니다. 그렇지만 2015년, 2016년에 좋은 성적으로 시즌을 보내 2017년에 LPGA 투어에 입문하게 되었습니다. 저는 정말 감사했습니다. 못다 이룬 꿈을 다시 이룰 수 있는 기회가 생겼기 때문에 정말 최선을 다하자고 마음먹었습니다. 그래서 시즌 막바지에 다다를 쯤에 저는 저의 목표를 이뤘습니다. 정말 기분이 좋았고 정말 신인왕은 2번 다시 받을 수 없음에 정말 감사했습니다. 앞으로 저는 지금과 같은 신의 마음으로 더 높은 목표를 향해 열심히 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Would you like to say thank you in English? Is that right?
Yes. Thank you. This means a lot.
Well done. Well done. Sun-Hyun Park, the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year. Well done. And Annika Sorenstam, thank you for being with us. Well, our next 2 awards are not quite yet decided. So if you fancy a little more drama over the weekend at the CME Group Championship, you will certainly be very happy. The races for the final 2 awards of the year are just too close to call at the moment, and we'll be handing out both of these awards separately on Sunday evening. Tonight, however, we will honor the contenders for these awards, starting with the Vare Trophy for the season's lowest scoring average. With a current scoring average of 69.147 for the entire season, is Lexi Thompson. Please stand, Lexi. Closely followed by Sung-Hyun Park, whose scoring average is 69.259. So please stand, Sung-Hyun, and be recognized. Now, there is a narrow margin, even I can do the maths, it is 0.112, separating these two great competitors in contention for the Vare Trophy, making this one of the closest races in the history of the LPGA Tour. So a big round of applause for the golf that we have seen from Sung-Hyun Park and Lexi Thompson this year, which has been absolutely outstanding. Well, our final award of the evening may be one of the most prestigious of them all in the whole of golf. It is the Rolex Player of the Year Award. As we look at the 4 contenders for this special honor, please welcome back to the stage the Commissioner of the LPGA Tour, Mike Wan.
I'm a little bothered that in 9 months, Sung-Hyun, you've learned more English than I have Korean in 8 years. So you're way ahead of me. Before we jump into this award, I just want to say to the whole group here that I am truly honored to be part of this unique family. And we are a unique family that travel all around the world together and show women's golf off to literally hundreds of different countries. I'm proud to be part of this team and family, and I hope you share my pride in the fact that people like Kathy Lebring and Brad Boyd and Sandy Higgs make this night so special for the rest of us. For the 3 of you guys, thank you for making us feel so special tonight. I would have just told you their nicknames, but nobody knew who I was talking about. To Rolex, I just want to say, I think you guys know, but in case you don't, you are the sun that lights women's golf all around the world. I don't really know where women's golf would be without you. And you're also the standard by which we measure athletic greatness in women's golf. Look across the room here, whether it's the Rolex Rookie of the Year, whether it's the Rolex Annika Major Award, whether it's the Rolex World Rankings, or the big guy in the middle, whether it's the Rolex Player of the Year. We measure greatness in women's golf with your name and your brand. So on behalf of all of us who follow women's golf, thank you for what you do for this incredible sport. This night is really about celebrating, identifying the best of the best, the ones that can separate themselves from the pack, the ones that have the opportunity to truly be elite, in really, really elite company. You see, for this award, somebody on Sunday is going to put their name on that trophy. And just think for a second about having your name next to names like Whitworth and Sorenstam and Lopez and Rankin. It's really unbelievable. Or more recent names like Yanni Sen, Stacy Lewis, Lydia Ko. That is company that I don't know when you're putting at age 7 on a practice green. You can even dream that big. But I'm proud of all of you for making this dream a reality. This season, as Tom mentioned, 4 athletes have separated themselves from everybody else. They just haven't separated themselves from each other yet. Let's take a look at the Rolex World Rankings and talk about the 4 players that we're really going to be celebrating tonight. Shen Shenfeng, first ever Chinese #1 player in the world as of this morning, Thursday, when they donned the green Rolex #1 bib. Sung-Hyun Park, the fastest ever to reach 1 million and 2 million on the LPGA Tour, following 10 wins on Korea before coming here. So-Yeon Yu, who quite frankly, if you could tell me I could make a model LPGA player and every future LPGA player had to be like her, I'd take So-Yeon Yu. And Lexi Thompson, who really embodies everything that it is to be a superstar, world-class athlete, not just in the way she plays, but the way she handles the fans, the way she handles the sponsors, and handles herself day in and day out. Those 4 players are literally in the running for everything on the stage, it seems like. Because when you shift and talk about the next 2 big awards that we'll decide on Sunday, somebody's going to raise the CME Globe, and somebody's going to have that trophy for the Rolex Player of the Year. And when you look at that, we're talking about the 4 players all jumbled together for 3 more rounds of golf to decide who is our Rolex Player of the Year and who will raise the CME Globe. It's amazing to think, as Tom was talking about the Vare Trophy, Last year, I stood at the podium like this and told you that for the first time in LPGA history, 5 women were going to have scoring averages under 70. By the way, think about your own round of golf. That's about 12 holes of golf for me. So 5 women, first time in history, under the scoring average of 70. As we stand here tonight with 3 rounds to play, 12 women on the LPGA have scoring averages of under 70. There are players that are on that trophy that have had scoring averages higher than the players in these 4. That's how hard it is to play, win, and win that trophy in today's world on the LPGA. These 4 athletes have had incredible seasons, and they're incredible people. Let's take a quick look at these four athletes and the incredible 2017 season highlights.
This for a major championship. And So-Yeon Yu wins the ANA Inspiration.
You've had all top 5 finishes this season in all 5 events, and you get another major title.
So-Yeon Yu wins the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. Number 3 in the world, moving up, and number 1 in the world today.
In for Thompson. Thompson, a winner again on the LPGA Tour, a winner at Kingsmill.
You're now 1 for 1 in tournaments that you skydived into. Great job.
All right, thank you.
Played the great golf we've grown to expect out of her almost every single week.
And Lexi takes the checkered flag at the Brickyard.
She can absolutely bomb it. She's got 4 top 5s this year.
Not the most difficult shot, but when you're trying to win a U.S. Open, it amps up about 100%.
That is some kind of special. Brilliant. Solheim Park has won the U.S. Women's Open.
Some kind of final round for the 23-year-old from Seoul to Solheim Park in the 2nd national championship.
Shen Feng is the winner of the LPGA Velvet Championship.
She's got another one.
Classic Shan.
Lucky number 8 for Shan. Her 8th LPGA victory. She goes back to back. She does it in front of her home fans again.
To my LPGA family in the room and to our Facebook fans all around the world, I hope you realize you are truly witnessing the greatest talent depth in women's golf history. And it's happening right here, right now, and it's going to play out over the next 3 rounds. To my family in the room, you haven't had an opportunity to exercise today, so let's stand as we welcome to the stage Shen Feng, Solheim Park, So-Yeon Yu, and Lexi Thompson.
We have Julie Yang on the stage with us as well, just in case you're wondering. Julie's going to interpret for Solheim Park. You can all be seated now. You can stay standing if you want. But we're going to do a little Q&A, and then we'll get some photos in just a moment. But it's been a wild season, hasn't it? What an amazing year that it's been. I'm going to start with you, So-Yeon, because I think some of the journalists in the room and people back home will certainly be wondering about your shoulder. I know you were struggling out there on the golf course today. You had to go into the physio unit halfway around the golf course. Tell me about the problems you've had and what the prognosis is for the rest of the week.
Good news is nothing related to ligaments, so it's only like muscle problem, then overuse, so only thing I can do is a rest. But as everybody knows, this tournament is such an important tournament for me, so I just don't want it to miss it. And like Tuesday, I feel quite a lot of pain, so to be honest, I was a little worried about am I able to play this tournament or not. But thankfully, I have a good team, so everybody's been helping me out really well. So I've had plenty of rest, and today I was able to finish 18 holes, so which is very positive, and I feel getting better and better every day. So hopefully I can play for the next 3 days as well. Then with good result, and then I'm gonna have a fantastic off season. Then I'm gonna come back with the health disorder.
But we're not thinking about that right now. We're thinking about the Player of the Year. You've got to try and win the. Do you feel like this is it going to be too difficult for you this week? Do you still have that goal of winning the Player of the Year, or is it just about finishing the tournament now?
Well, no, I still, want to be in contention. I want to do my best, and winning a Player of the Year is such a special thing, such an honor thing. So I don't want to miss that opportunity. Then right now, I'm at the good position, so I still want to fight well. Fight really hard as I can. That I want to do my best. And end of the season, no matter what, I can tell myself I did my best for this whole season. Then this season was really graceful, and then competing with these three amazing players, were really tough. But it definitely gave me the more motivate to improve myself every day, every single day. So it's been an opportunity journey that hopefully it could be the really great finale.
I think it will be a great finale, and we wish you obviously all the best with that. Sung-Hyun, I'm going to turn to you now. And you have a chance to do something that nobody else has done before, win the Rolex Rookie of the Year, the Player of the Year, and the Vare Trophy. A clean sweep, if you like, on the LPGA Tour. What would that mean to you?
다른 선수가 해보지 못한 바레 트로피, 롤렉스 오브 더 이어, 그다음에 그 플레이어 오브 더 이어 지금 다 수상할 수 있게 됐는데 소감에 대해서 한마디 해주세요.
네. 굉장히 부담을 많이 가지고 하는 마지막 경기가 되는 것 같은데 일단 좋은 위치에 있는 만큼 제가 할 수 있는 만큼 최선을 다하고 싶고요. 결과가 혹시 안 좋더라도 최선을 다했음에 만족하고 일단 올 한 해가 굉장히 만족스러운 한 해이기 때문에 지금까지도 잘하고 있다고 생각해요.
So there's a bit of a pressure, I think, on this last tournament, more pressure than I've had probably before. But I think that I'm very excited, and even if the turnout doesn't turn out the way exactly that I expected, I'm still very pleased with myself for this overall season and very glad overall.
Well, Sung-Hyun is projected at #1 right now after your round today. So at the moment you're in the driving seat, but we still have 3 rounds to go, which we will look forward to watching. Shen. No cow pants. Where are your cow pants?
Well, actually I didn't bring my cow pants because I thought it was going to be like warm, so I only brought my cow shorts.
Cow shorts. Yeah.
So I was like, maybe shorts are not very good for tonight, so I'll save them for the course.
I think he made the right decision. Now you celebrated your win. You celebrated your win and of course getting to the top of the world rankings. With a steak, I believe, in Dallas Airport at TGI Fridays, which you told us recently.
No advertisement.
They might want to sponsor an event now. They might want to sponsor you, maybe. And you sent a picture to your father when you found out that you were #1. And now I thought that you'd sent a picture of the rankings, maybe a screenshot to your father, showing that you were the top player. But you didn't, did you?
No, because when I found out, they already knew. So the only thing I could show them was, how I was celebrating it. And I was by myself at the Dallas airport and transferring on the way here. And I couldn't do anything else, and I was hungry. So I just ordered I just went to Fridays and had a steak. So I really enjoyed the dinner.
And you sent a picture of the steak to your dad. You sent a picture of the steak.
Yes, because I wanted to show them that, yeah, like how I was celebrating it. But I'm pretty sure they were having even better food, but...
Now, on a serious note, I remember you saying, maybe earlier this year, maybe last year, you wanted to be the Li Na of golf in China. Do you know the highest ranking that Li Na got to in the world?
Second.
2.
Second.
You're number 1. It's a country of... Yeah, how about that? This is a good reaction.
Is it that funny?
Yeah. Do you know how many...
Sorry.
There are 1.3 billion people in China.
I know.
And you're the first person to get to number 1. I think that deserves a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You won a bronze medal at the Olympics. You're now world number 1. Do you get a sense of the impact that you're having in your home country?
Well, I think like after, you know, I got the bronze medal last year, of course, I think there were more people, more Chinese people like got to know about golf and actually got to know that, you know, from China we have good golfers too. But after I became number 1, I mean, be honestly, because I left the country right after the tournament, so I actually haven't been home, so I haven't seen all the fans back home, and I don't really know, you know, how big it's going to be like. But I've been seeing myself on Twitters a lot, on WeChats a lot. Yeah, it's all myself. It's like I go through it. It's shan. So I think it's a good thing. I mean, it's a good symbol. So hopefully, you know, after, you know, I don't know how long I'm going to stay at the position, but at least I've been to world number 1. So I hope that can, you know, show all the people back in China that, you know, Chinese can be good at golf. And I hope more people can actually try to come to the LPGA and PGA in the future. Yeah.
I think they will. I think you'll have a huge impact. I think you're inspiring young girls in your home country.
Thank
more
you.
than you probably realize. And Lexi, I'll move on to you. It's been an interesting year, hasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. It's been a bit of a crazy one.
How do you sum up the experiences you've had in 2017?
I think overall it's been very positive. I mean, I've been through quite a bit on and off the golf course this year, but I've just really realized how strong I am and, you know, how I got through those situations and everything off course with my family. So I've learned a lot about myself, and, you know, I think every time we play this crazy game, every time we tee it up, we learn something new.
You love it though, don't you?
I do. I wouldn't be playing it if I didn't.
You mentioned your mother, you mentioned the off-course struggles. Your mother battled cancer, which she's free from now, and I know that's meant a lot to you, and it's been something that's on mind. How difficult is it to play when a family member is suffering back home?
Yeah, it is very difficult. It was hard to really even focus on golf just because once I heard I was home, and it was very devastating. I went through a lot in the beginning of the year, and then to hear that, it was just like all at once, just like compounding. And you know, I was in a pretty dark place with going through it all because my mom's my best friend, and you know, I love being with her and just seeing the smile on her face. But honestly, just to see how her outlook on life is, going through everything that she's been through, it's made me a stronger person, and I wish to be half the woman that she is.
Well, I think that means a lot to her, I'm sure, as she listens and watches. I want to get to a more lighter note, though. What is more enthralling? Is it jumping out of a plane or driving around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which you did both of those this year?
Probably jumping out of the plane. That was always on a bucket list of mine, and the only way I would do it is with a Navy SEAL on my back. I wouldn't be able to do that alone, and it was quite the experience. You know, I'm very involved with the military, and being involved with the SEAL Legacy Foundation, and to make that announcement, being involved with them into the Kingsmill Championship, it was a huge honor, and then to go along and win that tournament, it was a memory I'll never forget.
Yeah, it was a good bounce back. It was incredible to watch. That landing looked like a little bumpy.
He told me to lift my feet because probably if I had my feet down, I would stumble.
Let's not think about what would have happened if you had your feet down. But you landed in a big way there, and you produced a victory. And of course, now you're in the hunt to win the Rolex Player of the Year, as all four of you are. We're going to really look forward to this battle over the next 3 days. There's a lot on the line for you three players. How about a big hand for the players that are in the hunt for the Rolex Player of the Year? Shen Shen Fang, Lexi Thompson, So Yeon Yu, and Sun Hyun Park. And that brings us to the end of our evening here. It's been a fabulous time, and to listen to the stories and to appreciate all of the greatness that we have seen on this stage is really something very special. I know it's been very special for you at home to be watching for the first time live on Facebook. It has been a great night. We thank you for joining us, and we will hopefully see you again next year. We will definitely see you over the next 3 days as we watch the drama unfold on the golf course here at Tiburon. From everybody on the stage, myself, Tom Abbott, it is good night for you at home. Good night.